Let's bring in Lara Trump, the host of My View right here on the Fox News Channel. Good morning to you, Lara.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what is your reaction? I mean, this is the third time in, 2 years that someone has tried to take his life, possibly. What's your reaction? What's the family's reaction?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to commend the United States Secret Service and the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. They did an incredible job. Obviously, there were no innocent people who were harmed in this. But you're right, Ainsley. You know, I would like to say I'm surprised by this, but sadly, I'm not, because this is the third time in 2 years someone has tried to murder my father-in-law, our president of the United States. And, you know, you would think that something like this would encourage everyone, Republicans, independents, and yes, even Democrats, to stand up and say, you know what? We can't operate like this. This stuff isn't okay. It's been deafeningly silent from one side of the political aisle. And I will say I've heard a lot of Republicans come and speak out against this in the past 24 hours. Not a lot of folks from the left, and that is noted by almost everyone in this country. But look, it took my father-in-law actually being shot in Butler, Pennsylvania, for Biden to come out at the time and say, maybe the rhetoric is a little too hot. Maybe we've gone a little overboard here. It may have been too late, though, because 2 months later, we know that the guy at the golf course tried to take his life there. We all watched as our friend Charlie Kirk was murdered in cold blood, a God-fearing father and husband who dared to engage with the other side of the aisle. That was, I guess, his crime. And, you know, you have to ask yourself, whenever you just casually throw around terms like Nazi, like fascist, like Hitler and racist, what do you think the consequences of that ultimately will be? We are better than this as a country. And I'll tell you, as a family member, I keep wondering, how many chances does one man get? He's not going to be lucky enough at some point. Thank God he wasn't at Mar-a-Lago and the First Lady wasn't there this weekend. But you don't get lucky every single time, guys.
But Laura, do you think, I mean, your husband has been public about this, and Eric is the calm son. And he's like, are we going to get information? So are we going to get information about this one as well? Because it seems like every single time this happened, there's a vacuum, and we don't figure out bodies are being burned before we get the full investigation, and we don't understand what the motivations are, who inspired them, the online traffic, text messages, and all of that.
Yeah, well, Lawrence, hopefully this time is different, because we know who this FBI director is, we know this attorney general, and we know this president is in charge right now. So I will tell you, I know all three of those individuals are going to work very hard to get to the bottom of this. I found it rather disgusting online that there are people who were saying, well, this wasn't an assassination attempt because the president wasn't even there. You don't show up to someone's home with a shotgun and a can of gasoline with good intentions. You don't, it's very obvious what this was all about. This was a person who wanted to, at the very least, cause violence and hurt people. And it happened at the very public home of the president of the United States. This is one of the most fortified properties, I would say, in the entire country. And so to breach, you know, the security measures there and go in like this, you can only assume one thing. But yes, Lawrence, I think it's very important that we get to the bottom of what all of this is. And I appreciate what Dan Bongino had to say there. Whether or not this was an individual working alone or with more people, we've never gotten answers on a lot of that in the past. I sure hope we get them here.
Lara, lastly, I'm concerned about you and your family and your extended family. You know, they're very public. We see all the time. And these people, these deranged lunatics, and it looks like this guy is one of them, as well as the last one that was around your golf course that's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. Do you worry about that? And do you feel as the Secret Service is watching you and your family?
Yeah, well, listen, we're very lucky, Brian. We do have Secret Service protection for ourselves, for our children, and we feel very safe with them. But, you know, all it takes is one person to have bad intentions, and bad things can happen. And maybe it's not just to us. Maybe it's the people who are around us. The bottom line here is we're better than this as a country. We all saw and celebrated that great hockey win yesterday. I know you guys have been talking about that. That's the kind of country America is. Go back to 1980, whenever that was the spirit of the country came together to support that hockey team. We should all take what we saw yesterday, that big hockey win, and say, you know what? We're more alike than we are different. We're the greatest country on earth. We can all celebrate that. We have a president in the White House right now who's working overtime to deliver for the people of this country. He has put his entire life aside to do it, and now he's put his life on the line multiple times. I'm not personally worried about myself. Again, we are very protected, but I am worried about the future of this country. We fought in 2024 to put this president in office so that my kids and your kids and everybody's children in America got to grow up in the same great country that we did. This kind of stuff really makes me question what is going on out there and what kind of country are we ultimately going to be turning over to our children.
Well said, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.